Well, we're back and we're cooking with preps again. So I have my Thrive tomato sauce, some onion, and some carrots. Over here I have some dehydrated celery. I have some dried chickpeas here. I do have a couple of fresh tomatoes back there that are going to go in. And then my spices are going to be paprika, cinnamon, cumin, and a little bit of this custom hot pepper mix. So, and I think that's it. Oh, I have some hamburger in there that is bubbling, but you wouldn't have to make this soup with hamburger. You could make it vegan entirely if you wanted to. So I found the recipe on notenoughcinnamon.com and it's called, what is it called? Moroccan chickpea soup. And I wanted to try it because I had some chickpeas and I had some hamburger and I thought, why not make some soup? So I will let you go there for the ingredient list, and I am modifying it a little bit. It calls for canned tomatoes. I don't have any. So, I mean, I have lots of salsa, but I don't want to use that. It's not just tomatoes. So I'm going to use some fresh tomatoes, and I'm going to use some of my tomato powder because I think that'll make my tomato flavor come through. And they also call for canned garbanzo beans, but I don't have enough that are canned, so I'm going to use the dried ones. And I'm going to pressure cook it in my Instant Pot, because one of the things that Dave and I were talking about is if our power goes out, we need something that we can cook in that isn't our stove, because we're certainly not going to try and get the stove running on our generator. But one option that we may have is this Instant Pot, because it doesn't draw a whole lot of electricity and you can make a ton of food with it. So that's what we're doing today, is we're cooking with preps, and this is courtesy of TJ Preps. If you're not familiar with TJ, I will leave her link down in the description as well. Now, I just discovered her, although I guess she's been around for a while, but she has all kinds of super helpful videos on the state of the world and how you can be prepared in the case of a disaster, whether it's a natural disaster or a man-made disaster, or who knows what the future holds, right? But, I mean, I know that our power goes out usually at least once a year, so are you ready if your power's out? You need to be ready, at least a little bit, right? So I pretty much doubled most of what's in the recipe. Oh, I haven't put any garlic in there yet. I need to do that still. Don't let me forget. Well, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, I put in 2 tablespoons of this tomato, and then I doubled all my spices. I doubled my liquids. I put in about 3 cups of, actually, like a cup and a half of garbanzo beans, which should be about 3 cans. And then I'm going to get some garlic chopped up and get it in here. But it's looking good and it's smelling good, and I'm going to get it pressure cooking in this Instant Pot in just a moment. Okay, so everything is in my pot, and I'm going to push the pressure cook button. It's on 30 minutes already, so that's really all I have to do there. I'm going to double check that my exhaust valve is set to airtight, and that's it. We're just going to cook from there. Here we go, Instant Pot. Haven't got what yet?
Soup.
Oh, well,
Walked off.
without filling the soup.
To come and ask you if you were gonna, if you made it with Thrive, and then I forgot I hadn't filled up my bowl yet.
I did. I used Thrive onions and carrots and tomato powder and dehydrated celery. But I would have used the Thrive if I didn't have my own dehydrated.
And the beans?
Those were dry garbanzo beans. They weren't Thrive.
They weren't Thrive and they weren't your own?
No.
Okay.
And then I used fresh tomatoes instead of canned tomatoes.
Oh, didn't use Thrive tomatoes?
I used Thrive tomato powder.
Okay. Yeah.
Is it good?
Give them a little bit of that. It's a little spicy.
A little spicy for you?
A little bit hot.
Yeah. I put an extra
bad.
pinch of hot chili pepper in it yesterday because it
That's what did it.
didn't have quite enough kick for me. Well, that was some pretty tasty soup, I must say. And that is just another example of how you can use Thrive foods in your everyday life. So I know a lot of people keep them just for emergency storage, and that is fantastic. I have a bunch that's set aside for emergencies, and I don't know, I'm just finding the convenience and the taste of eating these foods and being able to just toss them into something when I need it. That is super helpful. If you want to know more, there is a link down in the bottom, and you can click on that and learn more about Thrive, or I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. I'm still kind of new at this myself, so although I've been using the product for a long time, I haven't really been on the business side of it until recently, but yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. So thanks for coming and hanging out with us today in the kitchen. I appreciate every second that you come and spend with me. And I hope that you take care of yourself. I will see you soon. Bye now.